Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 28th, and the Mariners are in first place in the AL West. And how bad can things get for Baltimore without their closer? Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today on this fine Monday afternoon? I hope all of you are having a fantastic day and had a wonderful weekend. Quick note that the audio is still a little messed up, so again, apologies if I sound much different than I have for the first 40 episodes. Trying something different than I did on Friday, so hopefully it's not as bad, but it might be. So again, apologies, but I'm doing my best here. I'm not the best tech guy here. But yeah, we got 4 days left of August baseball before the dog days of summer are officially over and we move over to September, the final month of baseball, where all of these playoff races will heat up. But before that, let's dive into this weekend's series recap. Leading us off, we've got the Yankees at the Rays, and Cole pitches a gem. DJ LeMahieu, he hits 2 home runs in the game as the Yankees get the win over the Rays, beating them 6-2. Tyler Glasnow in the Rays' pen blanks the Yankees as a couple of sac flies and a double does the job for Tampa as they win it 3-0. In that final game, Brandon Lau had a great day at the dish, going 3 for 4 with a home run, a double, and a walk. He drove in 4 runs, and things got chippy late as the benches cleared twice in the game, one after Randy Arozarena was hit by a pitch and another after he stole third. Brandon Lau made some spicy comments after the game, but in the end, the Rays take 2 of 3 and beat the Yankees 7-4. The Guardians and the Blue Jays now. Bo Naylor, Ramon Laureano, and Andres Jimenez all homer for the Guardians as they take the first game in the set, beating the Blue Jays 5-2. Davis Schneider continues to become a Blue Jays legend as he goes 3 for 3 with a home run, a double, and a walk, driving in 3. As a good start from Rio plus Schneider helps the Jays even up this series, winning it 8-3. And for the rubber match, Vladdy Springer and Davis Schneider all homer for the Blue Jays, but we would be tied and need extras, where in the 11th, the Guardians were able to put up 4 runs, including a 2-run home run from Ramon Laureano. The Guardians take 2 of 3 versus the Blue Jays as they win it 10-7. The Rockies and the Oilers, Ryan Mountcastle, Austin Hayes, Gunnar Henderson, all homer for the O's. They get their 80th win of this season, but their focus is with their closer, Felix Bautista, who came out of the game with an injury. The O's take the opener, winning it 5-4. Ryan Mountcastle continues to help the O's as he hits a 2-run double, as well as Anthony Santander's RBI double. That was the difference in this one, as the O's take another one with the same score of 5-4. Tied at 3 late, we enter the top of the ninth, where the Rockies took the lead on a fielder's choice, but unfortunately the O's couldn't answer as they dropped the last game to the Rockies, but still take 2 of 3 from them, but the Rockies do win the last game 4-3. Dodgers and Red Sox, and Mookie Betts returns to Fenway for the first time since being traded and would play there for the first time as a visitor. Alex Verdugo and Trevor Story got things going for the Red Sox as they both hit home runs, and for Trevor Story, it's his first of the year. The Dodgers score 3 runs in both of the 6th and 7th innings as they take the lead. The Dodgers win the first game 7-4. In the second game, Alex Verdugo and Justin Turner homer against their former team. Adam Duvall joins them with a home run as well. The Red Sox even up the series, winning it 8-5. And in the rubber match, James Outman and Mookie Betts hit home runs for the Dodgers. And despite the late push from Boston, it wasn't enough. The Dodgers get the win and take 2 of 3 from the Red Sox, 7-4. The A's and the White Sox, Shea Langeliers hit 2 home runs in the game as well as Rooker, Goloff, and Kemp, as 5 ace home runs give them the win as they win it 8-5. The A's score 5 runs in the second and only add from there as they beat the White Sox once again 12-4. Lenyon, Sosa, Yoan Moncada, and Andrew Benintendi all go deep as the White Sox get a win in the series, making it, with a score of 6-2. And in that final game, Mike Clevenger deals for 7 innings as the White Sox split the 4-game set 2 East versus the A's, winning it 6-1. Astros and Tigers now, and the Astros led 1-0 from the 3rd inning on, as the Tigers didn't have a hit until the 8th inning, but in the 9th, the Tigers tied the game on a single from Javier Baez, which set up Parker Meadows. In his 4th career game, he launched a 3-run walk-off home run for his first home run of his MLB career. The Tigers win the opener in come-from-behind fashion 4-1. Alex Bregman goes 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 doubles, driving in 4 as the Astros even up the series with a win 9-2. In the rubber match, the Astros hit 4 home runs in this blowout of a game. They scored 7 runs in the 8th inning and a combined 14 runs in the last 3 innings of the game. They would win it and take 2 of 3 versus the Tigers, beating them 17-4. The Twins and the Rangers now. The Twins had the home run ball working in the first game. Kyle Farmer, Royce Lewis, Michael A. Taylor, and Ryan Jeffers all hit one out. Taylor had 2 of the total of the 5 Twins home runs as they take the first of 4, 7-5. Another offensive night for the Twins as Carlos Correa, Eduardo Julian, and Max Kepler all hit home runs. The Twins take another one versus the Rangers 12-2. The Rangers are looking to hold the division lead. They get their hands on a game as Mitch Garver and Adolis Garcia hit home runs. The Rangers win their first of the series with a score of 6-2. And in that final game, after a grand slam from Jonah Heim, the Rangers had a 5-0 lead. But later on, Royce Lewis hits a grand slam for the Twins, and all of a sudden they were right back in this game. And after tying it in the 9th on a single from Solano, we entered extras where they would both score a run in the 12th and send it to the 13th, where with the bases loaded, Michael A. Taylor walked in the winning run as the Twins walk it off on a walk and take 3 of 4 versus the Rangers, who might have just lost the division lead as well, with a score of 7-6. Speaking of that division lead, we have the Royals and the Mariners, and J.P. Crawford starts this game and series off with a leadoff home run to put the Mariners in front at the get-go. They would score 2 runs in 3 different innings, and they would get the opener as they win it 7-5. Later, second game now, the Mariners hit 7 home runs in the game, 3 of which came in 1 inning. Josh Roja, Teoscar Hernandez twice, one of which a grand slam, Mike Ford, Julio, Cal Raleigh, and Cade Marlowe all hit home runs for the Mariners in the blowout. They win it 15-2. Tied for first with the Rangers in the AL West. With their loss, a win would give them sole possession of the division. Teoscar Hernandez and Julio would be the duo that would homer for the Mariners, as Luis Castillo holds the Royals, and the Mariners get the sweep and are now alone for first in the AL West, beating the Royals 3-2. Angels and Mets now. A good start from Patrick Sandoval keeps the Mets quiet as the Angels win it 3-1. Mickey Moniak homers for the Halos as they were in the lead for the whole game as they get another win 5-3. And in that final one, Rafael Ortega walks it off with a single for the Mets as they avoid the sweep with a walk-off win, beating the Halos 3-2. The Nationals and the Marlins. Carter Kieboom hits a home run for his second of the year. The Nats end up taking the opener versus the Finns, beating them 7-4. Despite 2 home runs and a good start from Yuri Perez, the Nationals scored 2 runs in the 9th and took the lead as they would get another win, this one in come-from-behind fashion, beating them 3-2. And for that final game, Jorge Soler launched a 2-run home run, which would end up being the difference in the game, as the Marlins beat the Nats to avoid the sweep 2-1. Cardinals and Phillies now. Alec Boehm and Kyle Schwarber homer to lead the way for the Phillies as they get the opener, beating them 7-2. In the second game, Bryson Stott, Nick Castellanos, and Brandon Marsh all go deep. The Phillies get another win versus the Cardinals, this one a score of 12-1. And for that final game, Kyle Schwarber hit a leadoff home run as Aaron Nola deals for 7 innings of work, only allowing 2 base runners, as the Phillies do exactly what they need to do and sweep the Cardinals, beating them 3-0. Cubs and Pirates now will play 4, and jumping along in this one, we are tied at 3 entering extras, where Ian Happ singles in 2 for the Cubs, while the Pirates can only answer with 1. The Cubs get the first of the 4, beating the Pirates 5-4. Second game, the Pirates scored 2 runs in the first, and the game would stay like that until the 9th, where the Cubs got 1 run on an Ian Happ home run, but that's all they would get, as the Pirates even up the series with a win 2-1. Jordan Wick strikes out 9 in his MLB debut for the Cubs, who also went and scored 5 runs in the 5th inning to help him earn his first MLB win. Cubs beat the Pirates 10-6. And for that final game, the Cubs once again strong with the sticks as Yaimer Canelayo hit his 19th of the year, helping lead the Cubs to a win as they take 3 of 4 versus the Pirates in this one, beating them 10-1. Padres and Brewers now, and a good start from Woodruff and a 3-run home run from Rowdy Tellez helps the Brewers with their win streak as it's now to 6 as they beat the Padres 7-3. The Brewers scored all 5 of their runs in the 5th inning, and even though the Padres tried to come back, they weren't able to make it as the Brewers take another one, beating them 5-4. Final game now, the Brewers score 7 runs in the 6th inning, as that would once again help them beat the Padres as they get the sweep and extend their winning streak to 8 straight games as they now continue to get distance on the Cubs and Reds in the NL Central as they beat the Padres 10-6. Braves and Giants, Michael Harris hits his 12th home run of the year to get things going for the Braves, who added from there, and they keep the Giants down as they take the opener, winning it 5-1. Austin Riley hits his 30th. Orlando Arcia, he also hits a home run. The Braves, as well as Max Fried's nice day on the hill, get them another win as the Braves take it 7-3. And for that final game, the Giants score 4 runs in the 5th and add 2 in the 6th. They stay in the lead and get a much-needed win as they avoid the sweep to the Braves, getting the better of them in the last one, 8-5. Last series here, we have the Reds and the Diamondbacks, probably the most important series of the weekend. Down by 1 in the 8th, rookie sensation Corbin Carroll launched a 2-run home run to steal the lead from the Reds as the Diamondbacks get the first of 4 in this series in come-from-behind fashion as they win it 3-2. Nick Martini for the Reds hits his first 2 home runs of the year, where the Diamondbacks had a 10-4 lead entering the 9th inning, and most people would have thought this game was over, and well, they would have been right, but not without a little bit of drama as Will Benson hit a grand slam for the Reds to make it 10-8, but that's all the Reds could get as the Diamondbacks take another one, winning it 10-8. Game 3 this time, the Reds enter the 9th only down 2 runs and were able to score those 2 runs to tie it and send it to extras, where the Reds would score 3 runs in their half of the inning, but the Diamondbacks weren't done as they matched the Reds and scored 3 runs to keep things tied and send it to the next inning, where the Reds scored a run on a balk and ended up holding the Diamondbacks in their half of the 11th. The Reds win a wild one. The score 8-7, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hits his 20th home run of the year to tie the game up in the 7th. The D-backs continued in the 8th by scoring 3 runs to get the lead, as they would hold the Reds and take one last win as they get 3 of 4 versus them. And in the NL wildcard push, that's huge. The Diamondbacks win it 5-2. Sticking with the Reds and Diamondbacks for our game of the weekend, we're going to the one the Reds won on Saturday. A pass ball in the bottom of the first allows Corbin Carroll to make it 1-0 Diamondbacks. It would stay like that until the bottom of the 5th, where Ketel Marte launched home run number 21 on the year, a 3-run shot that made it 4-0 Arizona. Top of the 6th, Matt McLain, he homers his 16th, making it 4-1. Top of the 8th, Nick Martini, he singles in a run. And then the top of the 9th with a 2-run lead, Diamondbacks are going to hold it. Tyler Stevenson, he doubles in a run, and then Matt McLain, he grounds out, which allows a run to score. That made it 4-4 as we headed to extras. In the 10th, Spencer Steer, he doubles in a run, and then Nick Martini, he hits a ground rule double. Christian Encarnacion Strand, he singles, and all of a sudden it's 7-4 Reds. We jump to the bottom of the 10th. Geraldo Perdomo, he singles in a run. Then Tommy Pham reaches on an error, and all of a sudden it's 7-6. Christian Walker with the sac fly ties the game up at 7-7. The game's not over yet. We head to the top of the 11th with TJ Hopkins batting. TJ Friedel scores on a balk to make it 8-7 the Reds. The Diamondbacks could not answer, and that's how that game would end, as the Reds win it 8-7 for our game of the weekend. Now let's talk about some of the baseball news from this weekend, and no news is bigger than your Seattle Mariners. They are in first place in the AL West. The Rangers, who have had sole possession of the division from middle April till now, are now not. They are tied with Houston for second. Both of them are still one game behind the Mariners. So although it's not going to, I don't think it'll be a long streak for the Mariners in first. You know, that's going to be a fun division race between those 3 teams till the very end. But yeah, the Mariners, man, they're doing it. We remember the beginning of the season. The Rays started it off 35-15 after their first 50 games. Well, the Mariners in their last 50 are 36-14, one game better. They have been on a hot streak for the second half, and even going back to the end of the first half. They've had huge win streaks, twice in the month of August. They've had a fantastic month of August. They've been a clutch team. They've been winning lots of tight games, blowout games. Like, they've been having it all. They are the hottest team in baseball right now. We remember kind of the Reds when Ellie got called up, how hot they were. The Mariners have just been on a different level of baseball recently. They've been playing great, whether it's their pitching or their offense, which has gotten it together. Guys like Teoscar Hernandez, he's not slumping no more. He had a slow start in Seattle, but he's turned it on, had a couple of home runs in the Royal Series this weekend. And I mean, as much as it looks good for the Mariners, we also have to mention for the Rangers how it looks bad. The Mariners are 9-1 in their last 10. The Rangers are 1-9. And, that's not great if you're Texas. I mean, you've been the top dog in the AL West, and all of a sudden, in a 10-game streak, you guys are 1-9. You guys are a top team. So most of the teams you're facing, you should be better than, you should be beating. And to be 1-9, they just dropped 3 or 4 to the Twins, which, I mean, hey, give the Twins credit. They are a good team despite being in the AL Central. The Rangers should have won that series, I think, or at least tied it. They should not have dropped 3 games to the Twins. And, now you're in a position where are you to go from here? Because you're fighting with Houston, you're fighting with the Mariners, you're fighting for the division, but now you also have to take a look at that rearview mirror, because AL East teams like the Blue Jays and Red Sox are on you guys for the wild card. So you gotta watch out for that now too. It's not as easy as just kind of riding the division lead. You guys had at one point, I believe it was like a 6 or 7 game lead in your division, and now you guys aren't even winning it. So, hey, the Rangers, this should be a wake-up call for you guys. You got 1 month left. You guys got to go if you want to make some playoff magic happen. But yeah, good for the Mariners, and for Texas, you gotta wake up. Moving along, we've got some not great news if you're a Baltimore fan. Felix Bautista on Friday, he left with an injury. We later found out that it's some sort of UCL injury, which is not good. The second pitcher this week to have a UCL injury, first with Ohtani, now with Felix Bautista. They haven't mentioned much about it. We don't know how bad it actually is. Will he miss a little bit of time, or will he miss a lot of time? And that's not good. Either way, he will end up on the IL. I don't believe an official move has been announced yet. But this is not good for Baltimore. Felix Bautista, I don't remember the last time. I mean, Edwin Diaz last year was dominant, but Felix Bautista this year has been on another level in terms of relief pitching, or in his case, a closer. And, what does that mean for Baltimore going forward? Well, I mean, look at Saturday and look at Sunday. A one-run game that was close, and they were able to hold off the Rockies. That's good. They got guys in the bullpen who have been effective and good, but not in a closer role. Cano can only do so much. He got the save on Saturday, but then flip it to the next day on Sunday, you're tied at 3 entering the ninth. If Felix Bautista is pitching, you can feel comfortable that you will end up in extras no matter what if you don't score in the bottom of the ninth. Instead, Cano has to go back out there. He gives up a run, and you don't score in the ninth, you end up losing that game. I think for Baltimore, without Bautista, things will get interesting. I don't see them, being able to win as many games without him. We talked about how he could have been the first relief pitcher in I don't know how long to potentially win a Cy Young. Depending on how bad this injury is, I still think he could get first place votes for Cy Young. He's been that dominant. But without him, a lot of those 1-run, 2-run games, you don't feel as safe anymore if you're a Baltimore fan. And I mean, that's because, one of the best closers in the league right now, he's out with injury. And I mean, that Sunday game could be signs to tell for Baltimore in the month of September without him. Those 1-run games, I don't think you'd be feeling as great anymore because Felix Bautista's not on the mound. The guy dials it up to 100 miles an hour. He's a tall guy, big guy on the mound. That's intimidation factor. A lot goes into it, and he's been really good. And without him now, who knows where Baltimore will end up, but it's definitely something to watch. We'll still wait for the official news on the UCL injury. Is it going to need Tommy John? Is he out for a year, or is he missing a couple of weeks here? So we'll have to see, but that's the news on that. The last bit of news to mention here, to everyone's surprise, the Oakland Athletics have officially, mathematically, become the first team eliminated from playoff contention. No matter what, even if they win every single game, they will not be making this year's playoffs. So the postseason will not come to Oakland, unfortunately. I'm not sure if everyone is surprised by that, but, it sucks for Oakland. You're coming down to your final days, but it is what it is. We knew the type of year it would have been for them, and they haven't even won 40 games yet. It's a sad thing for Oakland. But yes, they're officially the first team eliminated. That means 1 down, 29 to go. But if we'll see in the standings check who's actually in playoff contention. A look now at our outstanding performances for the weekend. We've got quite the list here, starting off with Merrill Kelly. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 12 Ks. Mike Clevenger, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 10 Ks. Mitch Keller, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Jordan Wicks, his MLB debut with the Cubs, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Garrett Cole, 7 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 11 Ks. Max Scherzer, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. Tyler Glasnow, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Yuri Perez, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Framber Valdez, 7 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 5 walks, 6 Ks. Zach Wheeler, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 10 Ks. Aaron Nola, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Javier Assad, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 Ks. Griffin Canning, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Brandon Woodruff, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 11 Ks. Spencer Strider, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks. And lastly, Justin Verlander, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. He earned his 100th win at Comerica over the weekend there. And now a look at our standings check, starting with the AL East. It's a 2-team race between your Oilers and your Rays. Oilers are 2 games up over the Rays and are 7-3 in their last 10, but Tampa is 8-2 in their last 10, and with the Felix Bautista injury, I'm not sure if Baltimore is going to be able to hold that lead for much longer there. The AL Central, it's still, I would say, technically a 2-team race. The Twins have it, but the Guardians, they're 6 games behind them. They actually have a 3-game series coming up this week, so if the Guardians can sweep the Twins, I would say that, hey, that makes you 3 games back now. It puts you right back in this. But if the Twins sweep the Guardians, I think it's time to write off the Guardians once and for all. The AL West, that's where all the drama is going to happen. The Mariners have 1-game lead over both the Rangers and the Astros. The Astros are playing some mid-baseball as of late. They're 4-6 in their last 10. And as mentioned, the Mariners are 9-1 in their last 10, while Texas is 1-9. So Texas needs to get it going. The Mariners have to keep playing hot, and for the Astros, you just got to be above one of those teams, essentially. The NL East, it's the Braves to win it, and it's basically just counting days. They have a 12.5 lead over the Phillies. NL West, same thing. The Dodgers, a 12-game lead over the Diamondbacks. Just got to play out some days there. The NL Central, it's a little bit more interesting, but with the Brewers' 8-game winning streak, it hasn't been. They're 8-2 in their last 10 on an 8-game winning streak. They are now 4 games above the Cubs and 6 games above the Reds. So the Brewers doing what the Brewers needed to do all along. But I believe the Brewers and Cubs actually play this series this week as well. So the Cubs, if you sweep that, you become 1 game behind the Brewers, and you're right there. But Brewers are playing hot, so you got to watch out. Looking at the wild cards now, the Rays hold a 6-game lead over the Rangers and Astros, who are both tied for the 2nd and 3rd seeds. The Blue Jays 2.5 games out, Boston 4.5 games out, and then the Angels are 10.5. So it's officially time to write off both the Angels and the Yankees. They're not making playoffs, so the AL wild card is down to a 5-team race between the Rays, Rangers, Astros, Jays, and Red Sox, technically also the Mariners and Baltimore, but essentially those are the remaining teams. So only 2 more teams won't make the playoffs on the AL side, but the NL side, it's a little bit more complicated. The Phillies are in the 1st seed with 3.5 above the 3rd seed. The Cubs are half a game up on the 3rd seed, the 3rd seed being the Diamondbacks. So those are your 3 current holders. The Giants and Reds are tied for 4th with a game and a half back of the wild card. And Miami, who has kind of slumped as of late, they're 3-7 in their last 10. They're 3 games behind the wild card there. So right now, of the 6, they're the team that's furthest away. So they have to get things going. The Padres are 9 games under 500. They're 61-70. 8 games back of the wild card. I think it's officially time to write off the Padres as well. So Angels, Yankees, and Padres officially don't think they're making playoffs. So you have a 6-team race in the NL wild card and a 5-team race in the AL wild card, meaning that as of right now, besides the 12 teams that make playoffs, only 5 other teams are competing, which means I've officially written off 13 teams on the year, despite only one being Oakland eliminated for playoffs. The only team yet to win 40 games. They're at 38-93. And then the question is, will they win 40 games before they lose 100 games? For their sake, I hope so. And now a look at our upcoming series for the week. The Yankees and Tigers will play 4. Pirates at Royals. Padres at Cardinals. Braves at Rockies. White Sox at Oilers, Rays at Marlins for 2, the Rangers at the Mets, the A's at the Mariners, Nationals at Blue Jays, Astros at Red Sox, Angels at Phillies, Dodgers at D-backs, Guardians at Twins, Reds at Giants, and Brewers at Cubs. Obviously, that's a little bit different. You'll find out on Friday as to why. And speaking of Friday, this will do it for our Monday episode today. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Once again, apologies for the sound. If it sounds off, I truly am sorry. Hopefully, I can get it fixed soon, but no promises because I've been having problems with the website. But I digress. That's me. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening, and I will see you guys Friday.